bamboo is the fastest growing plant on earth. That's true. For the first 2 weeks of growth, for t less than 14, makes sense? 2 weeks, 14 days. A model for the height of bamboo at time t days is the function h that satisfies the differential equation dh dt equals the square root of h minus 10. So what's h stand for? What do you think?
The height.
Height. And t stands for?
Time.
In days. Okay. After just 1 day, the plant is 35 inches tall, for real. So h of 1, I added that in. So h of 1 equals 35. Actually, we have this right. Did some research, some Googling around to figure out real numbers. Okay, so what's this called? What's h of 1 equals 35 called? Yeah, that's kind of right. Initial condition.
Oh.
So start initial, so you were kind of right. Initial condition. I just want us to ignore vocab. We can do the problem with that. But,
Makes sense.
we'll learn the vocab. Yeah. Find an expression for h of t. So how do I know I'm doing these steps? Because I'm given a derivative and I'm asked for like the regular thing. That's how I know it's like this 5-step process. A differential equation. Based on, and then I have this other question based on this model. What is the height of the bamboo after 7 days at time t equals 7? Okay. Step 1. Separate the variables. I'm gonna just copy it over. Okay. dh dt equals the square root of h minus 10. So h is like what? H is like y basically, and t is like x. What should I do first to start separating my variables? Love that. Okay, let's do that. We'll just divide by it on both sides, the whole thing. We're going to divide by root h minus 10. So then we'll end up with a square root in the denominator, our favorite. So on the right, all that's left is dt. Good. Oh, yeah.
She doesn't actually know where I am.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't care that.
It's like she
Doing
trusts
math.
you. Yeah.
She
Right.
does. Did you help her? I said shaking my hand. Go help her.
Okay, what's step 2? What do I do next?
Yes.
Sign. So I'm going to write it with an integral sign.
I feel a little bit now.
Yeah, it does, because of the H.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Now, to integrate something like this, we can't just straight up integrate. What do we need to do? Rewrite first.
Oh,
Yeah.
substitution.
You know, like the rewrite, integrate, simplify. Yeah, rewrite, integrate, simplify. So let's do our rewrite step. So I'm not integrating yet, so I still have the integral sign. How can I rewrite this? I have a square root in the denominator.
Wait, no, h minus
To the power of.
Wait,
It's
what?
negative. I'm rewriting this. I'm taking my square root out
I
of.
can do that?
Yeah, but I'm not done yet. I need an exponent here. Yeah. So a square root is a half, right? And denominators are negatives. So negative a half,
Oh.
not negative 2. And then my dh is just dh.
Oh, I thought you were getting rid of the dh. I thought that was.
Oh, I just had. Yeah, that. No. Yeah, fair. Fair.
Oh, that's kind of pretty.
So equals the integral of just dt. Alright, now, after we rewrite, now we can actually integrate. So what's the integral of h minus 10 to the negative half? H minus 10.
That's 2 and then 2. Don't you like flip the thing?
I am going to flip the thing. But what's my new exponent first? Tell me my exponent first. So 1/2, positive a half. Why positive a half? Why positive a half?
It's a y?
Yeah.
Because we're adding 1.
Yeah, negative a half plus 1 is a half.
Okay.
Now what goes on in front?
That, 1 over.
Correct.
Oh, that's 2.
You're both
yeah.
right. Yeah,
Oh.
you're both right.
Isn't that what I said at the beginning?
Yeah.
I didn't do like.
I didn't say you were wrong.
You were like,
Yeah, okay. So that's on the left side. So clearly, like any integral problem, these can get a little bit complicated for integration, right? Now, if it's on the AP exam, like you can get points further in, even if you mess up this step. So if you mess up this step, but you plug in right and solve for plus c right, you will get that point. Okay? So just know that it's worth it. What's the integral of dt? T. There's like nothing here. It's kind of like the integral of 1 is x. Like that's literally what dt means. It says dt means I'm the derivative of t.
So D is like the constant.
D means derivative of t. So it's like, what's the integral of the derivative of t? T. So basically, if there's nothing here, it's just the variable. It's like if it was 5 dt, it'd be 5t. I mean, we're used to x's. So like, if you were to integrate, 5 dx, it'd be 5x, right? So if you were to integrate 1 dx, it'd be 1x.
what would be the derivative of 5 dx?
0.
Oh.
The derivative of constant is 0.
Okay. I think I know.
Just like ignore, you can kind of ignore this, and like the integral of 1 is x.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. You can't ignore x is like the only thing there, but it's kind of like the integral of 1, but the variable is t, is not x, unfortunately. So we're doing word problems with all that. The more we see, the more we'll get used to it. Okay, so I integrated. What do I have to do now? Simplify. RIS. RDS, RIS. Yes. Okay, so how am I going to rewrite this? Like the half thing? What's a half is an exponent? Yeah. So 2, you're right. So simplify set h minus 10 equals t plus c. Alright, so I integrated. That was sort of a rough integral, but we made it.
Semi-concerning. Is that a car? Literally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna all pay for their car checkout.
Okay, so obviously after step 2 is step 3. What's step 3?
Solve for C.
Yep.
Keep going.
All right.
Well.
You're doing so well. Alright, let's plug
I
in.
can see little 6th grade Logan right now.
Alright, let's plug in. Let's plug in. Just make sure the 2 is on the outside though. 20 minus 10. This is 10. So 2 times 5 equals 1 plus c.
Why isn't it like plus or minus?
Good question. Why isn't it plus or minus? Because I was given the square root. It shouldn't be plus or minus. When you introduce a square root to a problem, you need to introduce the plus or minus with it.
But it's already in there, so it's plus.
Yep.
Unless otherwise specified. Makes sense. Because I definitely would not put a plus or minus.
Good. So good. All right. You ready for step 4?
Yes.
Which is,
Why?
I have the C, so I put the C in.
Sub C back in.
Sub C back in.
In this case, are we solving for H or are we solving
H.
Oh, excuse me. Oh yeah, find the expression for H of T.
Also, it tells you that it's realistic. Okay, so how am I going to find the expression for H of, what do I do to both sides now to get H alone?
Divide by 2.
Square root of H minus 10 equals, I'm just going to write T plus 9 all over 2. Now what should I do to both sides? Square it. Get rid of square root, square it. H minus 10. So just put a big, you don't need to do it out. Just write the whole thing parentheses squared. And then add 10 to both sides, right? Done.
That's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun. I like steppy math. Just,
Yeah.
You know, this is that.
Me too.
Okay, there's a question though. So find an expression for H of T, check. That's what I did, right? I found an expression for H of T. I mean H of T, same things. Okay, based on this model, what is the height of the bamboo after 7 days, so T equals 7?
So plug in 7.
So plug in 7. There you go.
No?
Not 10. Wait, no, I got 8.
I knew I should have done it. What's 7 plus 9?
14.
No. 16.
Okay, take it back. I was so confident. 16.
Yep.
So bad.
16 over 2, 8. There's your 8, but then square it and 10.
So 16. 74?
So 64 plus 10.
Would we have, is this like a real problem? Would we,
I modeled this after a real problem, but I changed the numbers. The real problem was about like an ocelot's growth, but
like, would we have to like literally just circle 7 dimensions? Or
Yeah.
like at T time equals?
no, just circle semicolons.
I don't know. Here's something's very.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, in terms of like, I know it's like a free response, so you think you have to like write all this stuff. You don't. The only time you have to write sentences is when it says justify. So if it's like, typically the sentences you have to write are F and F prime, that stuff, like it's from 0 to 3 because F prime is positive, you know?
I saw
Like,
that on TikTok.
oh, love that. Yeah, so unless it says justify, you don't have to write sentences. And then remember we have some like IVT and MVT justifications sometimes. Those are the rough ones. Okay. All right, so that is type 1. There are 4 types. They're all separable variables, but this is the type we just did it with no LNs and E's. See how there's
Is it
just
just different
exponents?
brackets?
No, it's in there. Just
Okay.
flip. Just flip. So type 2 is ln one side. It doesn't give you ln on one side, it's just gonna have midway through the problem, ln's gonna like pop up and appear. Okay?
Is that a new breakdown?